Welcome to the Daily HiFi Podcast special AXPONA edition. Well, pre-AXPONA. What do you call it? PAXPONA.
I don't know. I'm not going to be there, so it's
What's
only
up?
pre-AXPONA for you.
For me and for Aaron, wherever
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he's being a baby. He's saying he has to get ready. He has to prepare something. I don't know. I just do it.
I've been preparing dude. I've been running around like a chicken with a cut off head today.
Yeah, what do you need for AXPONA?
Well, I was filming yesterday in Palos Verdes, so all my filming equipment has to get here, and so overnight I was doing getting all the footage off the cameras, so that that project is. I don't know if I'm gonna shoot a whole lot of stuff, but I did get that calibrated mic. I got the calibrated mic for the phone. I got a little extension cable, like short one, so I can, and then
they're gonna kick you out. They're gonna be like, sir, no measuring here.
No measuring.
No measuring. Not allowed.
That's fun. I played my Atmos mix, that new one, my Atmos original, at my buddy's studio, and he was like, "This shit is fire." Like he hadn't heard anything like that before, so I'm bringing that to AXPONA.
Okay.
Focal is doing their very first Atmos setup at AXPONA. So, yeah, I don't know what I should bring. Should I try it on the Roku Ultra? Should I just bring a Roku?
Oh, I see. You want to play your Atmos stuff. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bring it all. That's how you roll anyway. Just
I'm flying.
Bring everything.
Flying causes a situation. You know what I'm saying? I want to
bring your speakers too.
Bring my speakers. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna let you use.
They have an Apple TV. Could I AirPlay from my phone to the Apple TV? My iPhone to the Apple TV? I don't know.
I don't know that Atmos would come through. It works with Artist Connect.
No. I mean, I know that if you use a laptop and AirPlay to the Apple TV, it'll play it. I think.
Will it be an Atmos?
Yes. No, you know what? It has to go through that silly thing. It has to go through that Infuse. That's right. It has to go through Infuse.
And I think Infuse, if it's lossless, then it's only going to be 7.1.
No, it's not going to be lossless.
Okay.
It'll be lossy.
I don't know.
But that's okay. My file is an MP4. It's lossy anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's either bring a Blu-ray player or bring a Roku Ultra to the trade show.
Probably the Blu-ray players.
What's that?
The Blu-ray player is not going to rely on internet.
That's the key. I'm gonna see if
then they're gonna how weird it is. Like internet over there. Oh, we got the at these events the internet's always weird. Like it's only specific to that room. So if you could bring a player that's just gonna play it locally, it'll probably be your best bet. Anyway,
so I'm thinking about the Roku. Maybe I'll unplug the Roku from the internet here and try it.
Okay.
Excuse me. See.
What's up to the folks in the chat, by the way? What's up, CSO? Michael Squires, Tim, how's it going? So today will probably be a quick one. Just kind of wanted to talk about the things that you're looking forward to at AXPONA. SVS's new subs. All right. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say it, but then I have their website open, so I assume
it was today. The thing was for today.
Okay.
What is it called? The embargo date or whatever.
Yep. I'm going to talk about, I did a calibration for a client using Dirac Live bass control. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some things I found. That was kind of interesting. Briefly touch on dual FFT measurements because in our Discord group, there's a whole channel of us just kind of talking about dual FFTs, kind of like an advanced measurement technique that live audio guys would know about. You know, they've been doing it for a long time. I assume car audio guys have been doing it for a long time. Not so much for home audio, but I think it's very useful to double check to see what's actually happening when you're running Dirac Live or Odyssey or anything. Is it really doing what it needs to do? You know, you can double check all the stuff with REW, but it's dual FFTs, another beast altogether. So I'll touch on that. I just recently reviewed the Atom Audio D3V, these little studio monitor speakers. So we could talk about that real quick and then just answer you guys' questions. Cool. I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Scruff says he's waiting to see the most obscure speakers at AXPONA. So here was a tip. I posted this as a YouTube short and then on Instagram. If you're going to any of these things, boom, the exhibitor list spreadsheet, and then I just highlighted in red, you know, the ones I want to see, ones I know of already. Marant's gonna have some stuff. De Villiers, yeah, they're gonna have a room. I hit up my guy John Mahoney, who I know over there, and he's like, "Oh man, I quit the company." I'm like, "What happened?" No. And he said, he opened up a guitar shop or something like that in Connecticut or something. I was like, "Oh, good for you, man." Elac's got some new stuff. I talked to Chris Walker. Did you talk to him recently?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk too much about that stuff. More talking about, like, you know, you're not supposed to use the T word. The T word.
Well, I think because of the T word, he said that the prices are going to go up like 60%. So
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with all these companies, but you know, a lot of the stuff is made overseas. So, you know, the T word, terrific. Yeah, terrific.
Terrific. This is all terrific. MoFi Distribution, Andrew Jones has a 1010 speaker.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah, he had the 888. They got the 1010 speaker.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? So that's gonna be interesting.
Should just keep going up. He should just keep going up.
I told him in my interview with him last year, I'm like, what's next? The 10-inch, a speaker with 3 10-inch drivers? Or how about you just skip that and just go all the way to 12s?
Triple 12s, the 312s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making studio monitors, triple 5s.
Yeah, I'd buy those just out of pure principle.
I know you would, right? You and your triple 5s, you got to do it.
Yeah. Rel Acoustic is gonna be there, so maybe good. Look at your reaction. Good time to measure some stuff.
You know what would be news? What would be news is if Rel came out with a sub that had DSP. That would be like big news.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Passive subs are not interesting to me.
What do you call it? Okay, you want it? Let me take this off the screen real quick. And I was telling Aaron. You know, I was telling Aaron. You know how in all these shows they have like a little award, like pretend this White Claw's an award, right?
Yeah.
And they put it by the speaker, and it's like, you know, best innovation or best thing.
Yeah.
What if I were to go to every room, have them all play Fast Car, and I measure it, and I'd be like, boom, worst measuring room, worst measuring speakers, $1,000 to $5,000.
Least bass. Least bass over 200,000.
That would be the funniest thing. Aaron was like, "You want to get us killed, bro?"
Yeah, that's funny. That'd be funny.
Chris Walker was like, "It's funny, but I don't think they're gonna like it." But
you know what would be a real easy one though is just to see, like, if you have them play a track that you know has a certain bass extension, and just to figure out what he's eating again, folks. It is the Daily HiFi podcast. It's official. It has started. Yes. So if you played a song that you knew had some deep bass extension, and then just see how low they play, you know, just something simple. It's not like, oh, I'm testing out the, on-axis response. I'm gonna get the direct. You're not gonna do any of that stuff. Just kind of get an idea of the how low the bass goes.
Didn't
And
we
I guess you can compare the response of the various ones. It might be suspicious if you start walking up to the speaker and measuring it close, though.
No, we measured at the listening position.
Okay, so try to stay at the same distance, though. Try to be like 6 feet away.
No,
the proper I gotta be thing, Joe. Sir, don't you want to be the center?
The prop. I want to be right. So it's maybe the video should be. This is how audio shows get it wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just they're telling me the sweet spot is here, so I'm gonna sit in their sweet spot. This is what I experienced at their sweet spot, and then go to a different room. This is what I experienced at their sweet spot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, you know what? Should I just
wear your binaural?
So I got yeah.
Why don't you? So you can record it. You could record the binaural experience, and then later on, I'll show you how to take that and then throw that WAV file into REW to analyze it.
Because I do have.
You guys are experiencing what would normally talk to each other about on the phone.
On the phone, yeah. So I've downloaded Magic Beans on the phone, right? So I do simple RTA and like right, and I could just if I plug in the binaural to this, what does that mean?
It'll only use one of them, but why don't you just record the whole thing, using your Pocket 3 and binaural, then you'll have an audio experience, and then I'll show you how to analyze the response in REW.
So do both. So record both.
Yeah. Well, if you record it, then you don't have to analyze it then and there.
Oh, you mean you're taking the audio file? You're talking about taking the audio from the binaural recording and analyzing that.
Yeah, because we know about how those mics measure. They're not perfect. I know that there's a little bit of a bump in the treble response, but if you play the same song and you record them, you can get a good idea of like what the response is from that measurement. Yeah.
Schaumburg, Illinois, outside of Chicago, like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. It's in the same place every year, Scruff. At the Renaissance.
Yeah, it's a nice hotel.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good for certain things. There's a lot. So like that's why also, if you guys are ever gonna go to this thing, I would highly recommend doing this thing, because look, it separates it from floor, so you can kind of have like a plan of attack. Like third floor, we have B&W, Marantz, Villiers, Elec.
That's your homie over there at Lingo, right?
Yeah, that's right. I saw them. I was just like, oh, I gotta go say what up to Klaus.
You gotta say what's up to stereo. Go to stereo integrity for Kelvin. Yeah, you got some good stuff there. Magnapan, okay. Yeah.
Harmonia distributor, Top Shelf Audio. That's Corey.
Oh, okay.
Corey's presenting out there. Arcam, I got their they've got some cool streamer thing. But look, this is all by floor, right? So you can kind of be like, oh, well, I don't have a whole lot here on the 5th floor, right? Unless somebody says, hey, you got to check this out on the 5th floor, I'll go do it. Parts Express, I'll be like, hey, yo, look, I'm measuring everything here. I'm hearing. Guess what? It sounds like crap. They just start laughing.
Well, they're gonna tell you, hey, we got a brand new mic out. I actually released a new mic that's pretty expensive, like $1,000.
Oh yeah, what does it do?
It goes to like really high frequencies, probably like low noise floor. It's a whole thing, but $1,000, dang.
Yeah, that's a lot for a mic. What else we got here? Dyne Audio. Oh. And then they're doing the car audio thing this year, which is new.
Dude, that'll be cool. You can definitely just go binaural. Just go binaural there. if they have some good car audio systems, I will put money down that some of those will have if it's tuned well, will have a better response than a lot of these rooms because they've calibrated a lot of them, right?
Right.
So you might be surprised. 7th floor.
I don't know. Oh, affordable. Oh, this might be cool to check out. 704 affordable hi-fi room. A whole bunch of.
Did Aaron already post his review of those Chesky's? Let's see. I see Chesky there. Hold on, let me just look here. Aaron's audio corner. Aaron. Audio corner. Let's see. Has he posted it yet? No, he just posted this Altec Lansing Bluetooth speaker.
Oh yeah, okay, that thing. Let's party.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. And then it goes from 7th floor to 11th floor. So this is what I'm saying. Like, just RBH, Kimber Cable, say what's up to them. Kanto, they got they're always there.
I reviewed their Aura 4s. They're pretty good. Pretty good speakers. Yeah. They've been making some good stuff.
We got Technics, Yamaha. 12th floor is where all the Fidelity imports, the per listen stuff is at. I think 12th floor is like almost all Fidelity, and then this Rhythm.
Okay.
I don't know half these brands. I mean, I've heard of Esoteric, but again, SBS is on the 14th floor. What do we got on the 14th?
Dang. 14th floor. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. ATC, Morel, they're on the 15th. And then it goes up to 16 also.
So red is the stuff you definitely want to look at. Is that it?
This red is like what I want to go like see, and
not those MBLs right there? The $1 million ones?
Where?
MBL. It says MBL.
MBL North America? I don't know. They're $1 million?
Some of them. Yeah, they're the what you call it? Omnidirectional speakers. The ones that look like, I don't know how they look. They look like, I don't know, like old tubes or something.
Old tubes. Let's see.
But they're huge.
Yeah. Oh, next level hi-fi Focal name. What? I don't know where. Well, I'll put them on the list. We'll see if I get to them because Focal has a different situation. And then this is like in a different area, the ear gear experience.
Ear gear, okay.
Right. So this is like, so they got a bunch of stuff. Oh, look, Z Reviews is gonna have something there. Hi-fi guys.
Can you see the car audio stuff? Where's that at? Maybe you can check something out for me.
Expo Hall.
Damn, they got a lot of. All right. Yeah, if you get a chance to check any of those out, I'm just curious to see what they're doing for the car audio.
I wonder where they're putting it. In the parking lot, I would imagine, right? Or no, is it going to be inside?
That's very few companies there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the first year. So,
Well, that should be fun. I'm sure you and Aaron will be able to hang out and I don't know what kind of damage you guys can do.
Oh man, it's
hopefully
it's like it's like a laugh factory, essentially. I mean, when we walked in, because he's like, "Oh, I want to hear what the speaker sounds like," and the guy gets into his spiel, and he's like, "We're gonna start off with Diana Krall." Aaron just slowly turns and looks at me, and I'm like, and we just left right away. We didn't even listen to the speakers.
I don't know. It's a little bit comical, right? You have to kind of laugh at what we're doing, Like at a certain point when we're exhibiting at the show, it's kind of like, man, this is so weird. People come into your room, right? And then normally a bunch of people come in. People don't even turn around when somebody comes in. So imagine walking into a room full of people all sitting forward at nothing, right? What seems to be nothing because there's no screen, or in our case, sometimes we'd use a screen, but all facing forward. And then you walk in, nobody turns around. and then you're supposed to go and sit down, find a seat, sit down and just like quietly listen to some music that you may not even like. Like, what is that? What is that? Right? It's a weird experience, right? So we had to kind of change it up and say, you know what? We have to just do something different. And we did, right? We ended up just like hanging out, talking to people and saying, hey, here's the tablet, play whatever you want, sit there if you want the good seat, and we'll talk to you outside if you want.
Yeah.
Make it more like a party environment, right? Try to make it loose. But, I guess we're not selling speakers either.
At this show, you know who our friend, the PR lady, did you responded to her? I totally forgot to.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name again? I forget. But
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The way I met her the first time was last year. And here's the email. I was in the elevator waiting to go down. And then the elevator going up, it opens up. And she looks and just puts some trash on the floor. And then I was like, hey, I see you. It was the funniest thing. So then when I saw her at the what is it? I ran into her a couple more times last year at AXPONA. And then when we saw her at a thing, I'm like, it's you again. You're the trash lady.
The trash lady.
It was too funny, man. I tell you, it's like, it's about all these like little things, like, right? Like walking. We were going to a panel. We were going to the we were just walking, and then Andrew Jones just happened to be like cruising through. And we talked to Andrew, me and Aaron, and Aaron hadn't heard the speakers, the 888s yet. So this was on the Saturday. So we're like, where are you going? He said, I'm talking on this panel. And so we're like, oh, let's go. So we're walking and talking with Andrew. It's surprising that, everybody's just like, he's like this rock star of a speaker, designer.
Yeah.
But he's like so normal.
Yeah,
right. And he likes to joke around. He's very sarcastic.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm all making fun of the sign. He's like, yeah, it's very what was it? It's very elementary, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. So like I walked into the room to interview him one time, and he was talking to another engineer guy, and then you'd expect like these two engineer guys are gonna be like, talking about some engineering stuff. Dude, they're talking about dick jokes. So I walk in and they're just telling these jokes. I'm like, oh, I see. Normal people. I'm always happy to see normal people that are very smart. And by normal, I just mean like, not so uptight. Not so serious, and I don't know. I like that, and that's what I hope to see. When you go to these events, hopefully you get to see another side where like, hey, this is just a normal dude who's really good at his job. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be all like stuffy. Some of these rooms are so serious. You know what I mean? And they actually don't know what they're talking about, but they're so serious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. They're so serious. Like you couldn't even you feel weird going into them. So I see the ones that you've highlighted, and it's mostly the funny thing is mostly people that we kind of know, people you get along with. I mean, that's what business is all about, really, right?
Dude, I mean, I know I'm gonna interview. I wasn't planning on interviewing Nick at SVS, but now they have a new subwoofer. Okay, well,
he's the homie. You have to.
Yeah,
you have to. You're gonna go and say what's up. He's gonna say, hey, what's up, Chana? Right? Yeah. All in 10.
Exactly. Just like that. Then, he's like, hey, you got that Atmos thing for us to listen to? I'm like, yeah, dude. But we always have to convince Larry. Because Larry's, when he's doing a demo, Larry's in like this zone. He's like, okay, I got something for you. Now remember that feeling that da 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 da. Well, here it is, Spider-Man 4 or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, but like he does a fantastic job. He does so well at these demos because he ties in all these things and it's not like you're just watching something and experiencing like cool sound, right?
Right.
He makes it cool. Larry makes it cool. So
and,
I always feel bad, like
and Nick. Once Nick gets started on his spiel, that he seems like to be preparing for a while. Right, in your videos, normally he has like a thing that seems like he knows what to say, or he's just said it 20 times that day.
Right.
But once he gets on that, he's off.
Oh, look at this. So this is it. This is it, huh? SB 5000.
Yep.
EB 5000.
These are their new subs that they announced today, I guess. Right. So if you guys would like to, we can look at this together. And I have not heard them. This is my first time even kind of looking at the specs. They sent me the press release. I didn't read it yet. So this is my first time. Have you looked at it? No? Which one do you want to look at first? The ported or the...
Let's go the sealed. Let's go the cheaper one.
Okay, so first things first. $2,000. Okay. Let's go to learn more here. Let's learn more about the SB 5000
together.
We're all learning. Don't judge me based on what I know and don't know. I don't know anything about this right now.
You don't know this, Joe?
No.
Come on, they released this at 9 a.m. today. You don't know?
Well, where does this sit in the lineup? That's a good place to look.
All right, yeah, let's go there.
Here, we have subs.
Go to subwoofers. So we got the 1000 Pro, which is okay. Let me see the pricing. $599.
How about if we just go sealed only for right now? Okay, so here we go.
$599. Okay. 2000 sealed. What is that? 2000 Pro. What is that?
$899.
Okay, so $300 difference. Okay, keep going.
This one is kind of like the oddity. The 3000 micro is just a really small sub.
Yeah, skip that one.
SB 3000. What about
the SB 3000? Okay, we're at 1100.
Okay. Then right here, their SB 4000's $1299.
Okay, but it was $1899, right?
Yeah, so they dropped the price on that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so price dropped on the 4000, and now right in between the 4000
and Ultra 17 is 25. That's their flagship. That's their flagship.
And then right in the middle, we have the 5000R, which is 2000.
2Gs.
So
I would guess that it is replacing the 4000, right?
Replacing anything?
Well, if the 4000's $1,800, the new one's $1999. You know, I feel like that. And then if you think about it this way too, they went from Ultra 16 to Ultra 17. So now they're going from 4,000 to 5,000.
Yeah,
that's Oh, does it have XLR?
It does.
Okay, so here, how about this? Pull up the. Oh no, those are $3,000 each.
So okay, let's just go over some of the new stuff. So 15-inch driver,
15-inch driver.
2,000 watts continuous, 5,000 watts peak, and then they have this new 295 megahertz analog devices DSP. I don't know what that does. Does that mean lower latency? You know, that would be a good thing to have less latency, because a lot of times the calibration systems are limited as to how much delay they can add, and subs usually are the furthest, and they have the most built-in inherent delay from the DSP. So the less DSP delay, the better. Hopefully that's what it is. I know that they now offer 6 bands of PEQ versus before they only had 3. Right? So, I mean, that's a good thing. What else do they have here? Yeah, 15-inch, Class D. Their claimed frequency response for the sealed one is 17 hertz to 280 hertz, plus or minus 3 dB. And then dimensions, 18.3, 17.8 wide, 19.5 inches deep.
I wonder if that'll fit in here. What is it? What was it? 18 by 18? What?
18.3, 17.8, 19.5.
All right, let's just say 19 square. Damn, that's big. Damn. I'm all measuring over here.
dual edge mount voice coils. I thought this was kind of interesting. So they have dual mono amplifiers. So it's dual voice coil. They're running each voice coil with a different amp.
Okay. With a separate amplifier. What does that do? Is that better for power delivery?
I don't know that it's inherently better. Yeah, I don't know. I know for car audio, I usually use a dual voice coil. For a car audio, it makes sense just because like you can have different configurations. Like you can make it,
sure,
dual
Series,
4 ohm, 2 ohm, or you can have 8 ohm. So like it's useful to be able to move around. For this, I don't know that it's inherently better, but it's different. Let's see what else. SVS smartphone app. So here it says 6 bands of parametric EQ. That is new. And they also have an auto room EQ. No comment because I would have to test it to see how well that works. But yeah, it's this is some of the new stuff that they have. What else? Anything else here? Do they have any? Sometimes they have graphs here to show you how. There we go. Description. Anything else? No. Okay. And then specs. There we go. So let's see here. 60. So the scale looks good there. Okay. So you see that they made it a flat response. So that's good. Wow.
Sorry.
How about the ported version? $25.99. So it jumps up, bigger enclosure, right? I would assume
that's a lot more wood. A lot more wood. Same driver, but a lot more wood.
Yep. They say extension down to 13 hertz. Okay. You know what would be useful? Somebody said is just a chart. I don't know if they have a chart there that says what the differences are, like side by side. Here's one that's like size difference, power difference, bass extension,
like a comparison. The standard comparison chart that you would have on like Amazon or whatever.
Because right now it's starting to get to the point where it's kind of hard to differentiate. Which one should I use, right? Which one do I need for my room? This one's $500 difference. Which one should I get? Well, the good thing for SVS is if you're choosing between all of their subs, they don't care. As long as you pick one of theirs, it's good, right? They're happy.
Who was it that said they have too many subs? Aaron?
I think Jeremy said they have too many, or somebody. And he said it's actually 4 amps bridged to 2. Why? No clue. I don't know.
Anyway, to get that 2,000. So if that's 2,000 watts RMS, that's per coil or combined? It's got to be combined, right?
Probably 2,000 combined, right? Dual mono.
Yeah. So then I would wager that they have to use 4 amps, 2 of them bridged to get 1,000 per coil RMS. That makes sense.
Why wouldn't they just make them 2 mono amps?
Maybe it's just
not bridged. I don't know.
Maybe it's it could be like a power consumption thing. It could be a size thing. I don't know.
Yeah. So there's a frequency response of those. You can see they have different tuning depending on how many ports you have open.
Yep.
So looks like 2 ports open. Extended mode, 2 ports open has the most. Sealed mode, 16. I don't get why you'd want to seal. If you wanted to seal them, just buy the smaller sealed one and save some money too.
Hello.
And then all ports open, 15 hertz. Like I don't know. I think if you're gonna buy ported, it makes the most sense to me to get the deepest bass extension.
Right.
It's probably gonna play loud enough. So anyway, there it is. I don't know much else about this. Other than it's new. And
okay, let me ask you this. Right now, I have a pair of dual per listen 10-inch subs. Okay. Let's not just ask you, chat. Since this 15, all right, since the 15 is $2,000 from SVS, which would you rather have? 2 SVS SB 5000s, the brand new ones, or 2 of the Perlisten R10S at $2,000. What would you guys do?
Yeah, it should be interesting.
What would you do, Joe?
I've never listened to any Perlisten subs, but the fact that they have who they have in their engineering department makes me pretty confident that whatever it is that they do is going to be pretty awesome. So I would be more curious to test out the Perlisten. But at a certain point, they all perform pretty well, right? You're not gonna get a sub like, oh, this is actually horrible. No, I mean,
this studio sounds insane, but I'm talking about from a cost standpoint, right? The studio is what, 16 by 13 by 10 foot.
Okay,
ceiling,
what are
right?
what's the configuration of that one? The one that you have.
What do you mean?
What is the setup on those Perlistens? Like, what are the drivers?
They're just frontward facing. What do you mean?
What size? What size are the drivers?
10-inch.
1, 2?
2 of them.
2 10s. How many watts?
Let's see. So I'll bring it. We can learn together.
Okay.
Tech specs.
You know what? This is better for the people who are in the chat. What do you guys think? What would you prefer? What's the size on this here?
So 750 watts RMS opposed to what, 2,000 they said?
Yeah.
It's got a little touch screen. Okay. App is iOS and Android.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a processor in there.
Mm-hmm.
DSP. Driver is a 250 millimeter glass fiber diaphragm. And then here's our, right now it's set to THX.
Well, okay, why didn't you go with the 16 hertz?
I don't know. It says boost large room.
Yeah, but look at the number, 16. Why would you go for the 20? I don't know.
I still haven't really used them a whole lot. I mean, I'm mixed on
these
them.
These are sealed? These are sealed?
Sealed, yes.
Okay.
So this sealed should kind of like match up or beat the SVS one at 17. I don't know.
Yeah.
XLR. It does have a 10-band PEQ with three user presets.
10 bands.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, competition is good, right? So 2 10s versus a 15 with more power.
I mean, I would get 2 15s, right? If they're the same price.
Yeah. Well, you're saying one of these SB 5000s is equal to the price of one of those?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're equal in price, right?
Yeah.
So they're equal in price. One versus the other. I don't know, man. I mean, they're probably both going to be pretty awesome. I don't think you can go wrong with either one, is the truth.
Big Jack says 15s. Fly Jock says SVS says that their new 5000 outperforms the PB 16. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Bro, you're burping.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I haven't eaten anything. It's crazy. PB 5000s without a doubt. Cone area is king. Okay, so he's talking about moving air, right? Like pressurizing this room. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want more output, usually if you have a sub that has larger surface area and more wattage, is going to give you more output. But how much bigger is the enclosure? If this is a smaller enclosure, probably, right, than that one?
Oh, this is way small.
Which one?
So we were talking 19. We were talking like 19 inches cube, right? This is probably like 15. 13 width, 15 height, about 15 depth. So 15-inch cube versus 19-inch cube.
So what you're asking for is like which one's gonna have more output? Probably the bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Yeah.
right? Whether that matters to you, that's on you. If you prefer to get the smaller one, well, I'm sure the per listen will sound awesome. If you don't mind it being a little larger, you probably get a little more output from the SB5000 from what I'm seeing. I
But who
will
knows?
say the price is up there, though. The price is up there. These RSLs, Michael Squires is mentioning the RSL 12Ss,
Mm-hmm.
and he has 2 of them. What is the price on those? Because they're 12s. They probably they won't outperform the ported version of these SBs. Sorry, the PB 5000s. But dang, they're a good deal.
$7.99. They're huge though.
They're huge. What is the
This thing's
dimension of
huge
those compared to these?
because I don't think I can fit this.
Yeah, no, these are huge. These are only 12s. This one's a 15. Less wattage, I would assume, from those. But
it's a 15-inch cube. Wait, which one is this?
That's the Subwoofer 10S, I think.
The 10 is this one on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is kind of where I'm at right now in size. 15 inch, 15 inch, 15 inch. 12S. Here it is. Yeah, 22 inches width. Damn. 22 inches deep. Yeah, I can't fit that in here. RP.
Well, this one is let's see, without the grill, it is 23.4 for the SBS. 23.4 by 20.5 by 27.6 deep.
Here, put it on. Which one? Which SBS?
The ported one.
Oh, the big one.
Boom. There's not really a secret when it comes to subwoofers, right? So you just need a big surface area, powerful amp, large enclosure, right tuning, some good DSP, right? But here it is. Without grill. 23.4 by 20.5 by 27.6.
Ooh, that's huge. 2 feet in every direction, pretty much, right?
I think the bottom line is you just have to look at your budget, how much space that you want to take up. And if you buy a halfway decent sub that's in your budget, you're going to do okay, right?
Right.
I haven't really heard of anybody really complain like, oh, these subs are no good, unless they have issues with the plate amp going out, in which case SVS is one of the best when it comes to, customer service, warranty type of stuff. So when it comes to that, it's kind of undeniable. Like they're really good at that. So I support them as a company. The way they deal with customers, stuff like that. I like what they do on that end. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about it. I don't have anything else.
Revive Creative says bigger woofer, more output, less distortion due to reduced throw. Per listen is wild for charging what they charge for performance. You're definitely paying for the name and the look. And they do look sexy. They they don't even come with grills, Joe.
No, they're like
Cadillac grills.
Nope.
No, we don't need no stinking grills here.
Yeah.
We're at per listen.
Yeah. Yep. They're due on support. Yep. Everybody says that. Anybody who's ever dealt with them, awesome support. So you got to build that into the price, right? People who are providing the support, that costs money to have those people. Right? And if they're willing to take back certain things, that costs money, right? So yeah, I think you kind of pay for that. Like you pay a little extra to have that SVS level of support. And in case something ever goes wrong, I don't know about the other companies. The other ones might be great also. I think RSL has been pretty good from what I've seen. I had a guy who I was working with. He ordered 2 RSL 12Ss and one of them came messed up. Something was rattling inside. And they just said, hey, send it back and send you another one. Easy. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know enough about this to speak from experience, but congrats to SVS for releasing another product. maybe get a deal on the 4000s. You know, I did a calibration for a customer using Dirac Live Bass Control, which, funny enough, I have a license. I have not done it in my home theater yet. So I have the Monolith HTP one. I have MSO for all my subs, you know, to kind of calibrate them with each other. And it already sounds good. So, you know, I didn't want to have to redo everything.
Why you want to mess with it?
Kind of like I know it already sounds good. It already measures well. Do I really want to redo everything? Because it's my system. It's my system that I use and I listen to. It's not a test
Daily,
system.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
So, but I need to install some of the height speakers that I reviewed from, what were they? The Aperion Audio A5s. Right. So I need to install those. So I figure if I install those, I'm gonna do 6 height. Right, Chana? All about the 6 height? Okay, you like 6 height. Okay, so I'll do the 6 heights, and then I'll do the Dirac Live Bass Control. But what I found was interesting. I did a calibration for somebody on their, it was Fred. It was Fred. Did a calibration for Fred. And he has 6 heights, so I think it's a 7 point. Does he have 7? Yeah, 7.1.6. But he has what? I think he has 4 subs, right? And so did Dirac Live Bass Control. And of course, I don't just trust it. I have to go and remeasure to see if it actually did a good job. And we're getting like a dip in the response at the crossover. I was like,
really?
What the heck? Like, that's the whole purpose of using something like this, is it's supposed to get all that correct, you know? And for most people who are running it, I don't know how many of them are actually going to remeasure. So it had a recommended crossover point around 70 hertz for most of the speakers. Let's just say, you know, approximately. It's different for every speaker, but around 70 hertz. But it had a big dip in that region. I was like,
can you show us? Do you have a thing pulled up or no?
I don't know. I might have deleted it already. I think I probably deleted it. But I found that was interesting. I started asking around. I'm like, is anybody else experienced something like this, or is it something that we messed up? I messed up in the calibration. And somebody said, oh no, this is kind of a common thing that people in AVS are talking about. I'm like, what is this something that you guys have experienced? And this is not like a bug, right? This is not an Onkyo where it's doing some weird stuff. This was on a Marantz. But yeah, have you guys experienced something like that on a non-Onkyo product where the crossover was really weird? Because the fix was that we had to bump up the crossover point to about 100 hertz. Right? We have to like really move it up. I prefer to not move the crossover up higher. I like lower if possible. If you have some very capable speakers, I prefer lower, just so the possibility of localizing them is lower. But because of this and where it put the crossover, we had to do it at 100 for it to have a smooth crossover 100 point. Yeah. Revive says maybe room mode. I've actually changed the crossover points. Individual on a couple surrounds due to the room modes causing either a peak or null at their crossover frequency. Well, this was for the left and right speaker. So I don't know if this was particular to, you know, just this setup, but it's a pretty straightforward setup. It wasn't anything weird. I know that his room was treated pretty well. It's pretty symmetrical. He's using some Arendelle 1723 towers. You know, he's using SVS SB3000s. Nothing weird, right?
Yeah.
It's all kind of straightforward. I just thought that it was crazy to see that the default, if I would have just hit next, like everybody else does. Well, not everybody, but most people probably can hit next, send, you're done, right? Without confirming, you would have a big null at the recommended crossover point in this particular system. I'm going to look for the measurement here just to prove that what I'm saying is true. Let me see. Anyway, anybody in the comments experience that? Let's see here. I thought I sent it in our group chat, didn't we? Okay. Anyway, while I look for that, anybody else saying anything? I don't. Silence is not good for a podcast. We got to keep it moving.
Keep it moving, moving around your room.
Keep it. Yeah, just do that. Do that the whole time.
Moving around your room. Can you hear me? Moving through the room. Moving through the room. Moving through the room. Moving around your room.
Yeah.
Here I am.
I don't have it here. But yeah. Anyway, you got to just trust me. There was a big null cancellation at the crossover point. So let's see here. Big Jack saying Dirac suggested crossover is not the best crossover. It's pretty much saying this is as low as you should go. Okay.
I know, like, you know what happened when I did the Dirac live on this AV10? It put the low pass crossover at 250 hertz for the sub, and I was just like, that's odd. Like, why 250? This wasn't even bass control. This was just the standard one. Yeah. Pretty odd.
Unless you're using ease to design a room and accompanying treatment, there's no telling what acoustical weirdness will occur beyond basic room mode calculation. I don't know, man. All I know is that I could have easily calibrated that manually and got the right crossover point because, yeah, it's easy. It's not easy, but you know, you can definitely do it manually and figure out where everything blends together well. And it wouldn't have to be at 100 hertz. Looking at the measurements, it looks like it could have been done at 70 hertz. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. You know?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to? What is he saying? Do you guys want to do a review of people's system who watch you guys? Yeah, I would be down, but I have to be able to trash it. You know, I can't. I don't want to be nice about it.
Room system of subscribers.
I want to be. Cool. I would like to be very mean about it. Can I do that? Can I review your system and be like super mean about it? Or you could be the nice one. How about that? You can be like, say the good things.
Okay, I'll be the good cop. You be the bad cop.
Yes, right? Let's do that.
Okay, sure. We just need to see it. I'll be like, well, it looks nice.
Whatever you want. He says, you could like it. Nah. Yeah, put up a system. I'll say what's
does
up.
Daily HiFi have an email address?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so you're on Discord. Just send it to me on Discord. I'll open it and we'll look at it. Yeah, sounds like Steve Guttenberg's viewer system of the day.
Oh, okay. Today's system we're gonna trash is from Mike Ortiz.
No, truthfully, here's the truth, right? I see some people's systems that are really like. Remember your system in your.
He doesn't want to be the only one.
I don't remember your system, Chana, in your bedroom that people
the
were
bedroom
really
one, yeah.
But it actually sounded good.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
You know, like how was it tuned is really what it's about.
Yeah, that picture got a whole lot of comments.
It doesn't. I have a dude that's in our Discord group who looks like I see a bed in there, so it looks like a bedroom system. But this dude is going in there intense and like really calibrating well. That thing could sound awesome. So how would I be able to tell just by looking at it? This dude's going in with dual FFT and like making sure everything is good. It could sound really good. Speaking of dual FFT, we have in our Discord group, just a separate channel just for dual FFT measurements, because it's pretty, I would say it's pretty hard to set up. You know, there is there's a software called Open Sound Meter that's free if you're using it on Mac and PC, paid if you want to use it on an iPad, but it does a lot of the same stuff as some of the more expensive dual FFT software like Smart. You know, JL Tune is free, but you have to use their stuff really with it. Otherwise, you can't take measurements. So, yeah, dual FFT is really interesting. I've mentioned it before. If you don't know what it is, it's a way where instead of taking measurements like you would in REW and then analyzing it, it's actually the software itself is sending out the signal and then taking the measurement and comparing it with the original signal so it can tell what the change was. What happened between the point where I sent out the signal and when the mic captured the signal. And then from there, it can look at live phase data. So live is the real-time aspect is the key. Right? So phase data, live impulse response, right? So a lot of times we talk about impulse response. What does that even mean? Right? When you look at it later on, it's more theoretical versus when you see the impulse response, right? The spike up, right? Where the sound first hits, right? And then you move your speaker and you see the sound like move. You see the impulse response move further away. Like, oh, I see. That makes total sense, right? Or if you move the mic, you can see the impulse response move. And when you have two speakers aligned using the impulse response, you can hear like the imaging just snap into place, right? What's what? Oh, okay. I see what you're smiling at. So yeah, very, very cool, right? It's just hard to set up, you know. So if you have this free software, Open Sound Meter, what do you have to get? You have to get an audio interface. Then you have to get an XLR mic that is not USB. You can't use a USB mic because the USB mic has its own clock, right? So because it needs to know the time where it sends it out and the time it receives it, it should be an XLR mic, right?
Yeah.
Because if the timing, because the U mic is digital, it might have its own sample rate, its own clock, and it might start to drift. It's not perfect, right? Why are you smiling like a freaking weirdo, bro? Am I talking to you, or why are you acting all smiley? Stop being weird.
It's okay, dude. So no worries. I'm smiling because I got this White Claw to
what the heck?
get into.
What the heck?
Black cherry White Claw.
Angela's watching too, but I'm not being weird. Stop being weird.
See, I just really love what you're saying.
He's really loves what I'm saying. I think, why are you giving me hard eyes, bro? Stop it. This dude's giving me hard. I'm talking about dual FFT here, and he's just like, yeah. You guys saw that, right? You guys saw that? Everybody in the chat, they saw what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Of course you didn't. You're all...
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, dual FFT, you guys should try it out. If you guys are hardcore into measurements, you care about that stuff, you have to learn how to do it. It's not easy to set up, but
very sexy.
Yeah. You gotta set it up. It just helps you see exactly what's happening. But if you noticed from my last few reviews of some studio monitor speakers, I've just been using the spatial audio calibration toolkit to get the timing down. Because as cool as it is to be able to see it, right? As you move the speakers, hear the imaging snap into place.
I'm looking for the toolkit. I'm like, where's my toolkit?
If you just play the timing section on our toolkit, it just goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, and then you just move the speakers. You can hear when the image is the best. Right? You don't have to know anything about measurements.
Oh, I see. So you're saying you're getting the timing set up on your on your studio monitors just by using it.
Yeah, just by moving them, right, aiming them, and then it helps me figure out, okay, when is it, like, should I tone them out or in, whatever, and super easy. And then with a bass response, I can either measure them or play the crossover section and figure out the point where I can't hear it anymore. I mean, pretty simple. So, whoa, what the heck is it? Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, simmer down. Simmer down. Whoa. What's going on? Add some screwball to that claw. Yes. Angela, you were correct. Croson has changed his name to Brews and Views.
Boo. That's what I say to that. Change, I don't like it. I'm getting older. As I get older, I don't like change. I don't know the brews and views.
Like brews and cruise might be
brews and cruise
might sound like better. It rolls off the tongue better.
Brews and poos. Nah, you're Croson. This guy's Croson. I don't know who this guy is. Adam. So I reviewed this Adam Audio. That's in the box already. Adam Audio D3V. I just released the video today. Little tiny speaker, right? 3.5-inch driver, 2 passive radiators on it, and dude,
radiators.
Those things bump.
Yeah,
they bump and they sound pretty accurate, dude. That's a good speaker. $299. Check out my review. You guys got to check out my review.
A pair? No, each, right?
For a pair. They're powered. They're powered. And they go heads up with this Cali Audio. You know, I'm a fan of Cali Audio. They're LP-UNF, right? Those are the ones that I let you hear in the garage on the desktop.
Yeah.
And these go heads up with it, but way smaller. You know, good accuracy. Yeah, pull those up. Pull that up, Jamie. Adam Audio D3V. Come on, Jamie. You don't know what I'm talking about? That's Joe Rogan's guy. He always said, "Hey, can you pull that up?"
Oh, I don't know who Jamie is. I'm like, who's Jamie? I'm like,
anybody knows who Jamie is. Nobody knows who Jamie is. But he always said that. Look at those, Jamie.
I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? 3.5-inch aluminum woofers plus dual shielded 3.5-inch passive radiators.
And they come with like little stands on the bottom that you can clip on.
These ones?
No, those are separate ones you can get.
Oh, you're talking about these guys.
Look at. See, Reverend Slim knows.
You got little DSP dip switches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some cool little speakers, man. Those are cool. Adam Audio, I have another pair from them. Some bigger ones, kind of an older model, T7V, I think. A7V or T7V, something like that. So I'm excited to check those out because I've never reviewed Adam Audio prior to this. And now I'm like, dude, if they can make these, I want to hear the other ones.
A lot of music studios have the Adam Audios, the 7s, right? The T7V, I think.
I have the. I'm trying to figure out which ones
I
have.
No. Hold on.
I think I have the T7Vs.
Okay.
Adam Audio T7V. Man, these other ones I can't stop raving about them because they're tiny, $299. They're pretty affordable. They sound so good. The only thing that I'm like not upset about, but I wish they had is they don't have a subwoofer out.
Really? Well, you know why? Because this is for music studios. So but
it doesn't mean you can't have sub out.
You're supposed to put the sub in line. The XLRs from your audio interface go to the sub ins, and then those outs go to these. That's how it's always worked. Nah.
Well, I get it. I understand what you're saying. Typically, you put, like you're saying, right, in line with the preamp, pre-out, and it goes to the sub. The sub applies the low pass. But there are cases where, like, maybe I just want to use these as, computer speakers.
Sure.
They have a USB, so you can plug it in directly if you wanted to. No audio interface at all. But then if you want to add a sub, now what? See, like what Cali Audio did was on the LPUNF, you can plug it in via, analog inputs, USB-C, but then it has, what is it using? TRS? I don't remember what the sub out is, but there's a sub out that goes into theirs. No, actually, stop. Hold on a second. Am I tripping?
What?
Hold on a second. Cali Audio LPUNF. LPUNF. Do they even have a sub out? I might just be tripping. It might just be set up exactly like you're talking about. I reviewed. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm tripping. This only has TRS in and their sub, so it goes into the into their sub, and then their sub goes out to the LPUNF. It's been a while since I reviewed this, so I forgot. And also because I recently reviewed the Kanto Aura 4s, and those do have sub out. I also reviewed some, what are these? Fluid Audio C50 BTs, and those also have a sub out. So there's this kind of like weird line right now where they have studio monitors, and then you have speakers that have sub out. Right, so like hardcore studio, but they're starting to like really blur the lines where the computer speakers have TRS input, like balance inputs. So it's like, is that a computer speaker or is that a studio monitor? They have USB. So anyway, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that I wish it still had sub out, right?
Fair, but and that's kind of like what happens when you're, tiptoeing the line between consumer and pro audio, right? Because the pro audio is gonna be like, okay. Oh, for instance, I went to Rock's house yesterday. Got to see his full Cali setup, right? And dude, these SM5s. So here's his Rihanna Plaques. Here's his 100 billion streams, right? And he's listening to my Atmos track right now. And this is all the SM5s. He's got some Neumanns that he uses for 2-channel.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, and so he's got the SM5s on all the ear level speakers, the LP or the IN5s as the height. No sub. And I played this track. The subs go down to 15 hertz. The like bass sweep goes down to 15. I'm like, damn, dude, that sub is rocking. There's me all excited. I'm like, he likes it. But yeah, that's his studio with full Calis. No sub, dude. No sub. And it sounds great. I was like, holy crap, those Calis are really good. Like, the low end, the bass extension on that, fantastic. But yeah,
I think it's kind of funny that a lot of the music guys, they will just stack on a bunch of speakers just because like it's a good thing to look at. Like you look like, damn, he has so many speakers that he's monitoring with. Like I recognize those Cali Audio,
the little ones,
IN-UNF.
They're the little gold. Yeah, he has those. Yeah,
they're probably not even connected. I can tell you right now because those are meant to be like right at arm's length distance. Like it has to be specifically that, and they have a bass module that you're supposed to put like right in between it. Like the bass module has to be there. You can't put it on the floor.
Yeah, right? So I think you just got
the bass module there for sure. That thing's not even connected. Yeah. But it's for looks.
He's pretty tight with Charles and John, the owner. So because when they brought all that stuff over and set it up, Charles was doing the calibration and all that on there.
Yeah.
And dude, the wall mounts on these things, holy shit, bro! Like they're like real deal. Like for the thing's heavy, and they have 3 lines going to it. They have a Cat 5 for the calibration. They got the XLR and the power. So they got 3 lines going to each speaker. It's not not an easy thing. But yeah, he has those Neumanns hooked up for the Neumanns have the sub. So I saw a sub. I'm like, no, you have a sub. He's like, that sub's for the 2-channel setup. I was just like, really? So the Cali SM5s are just got this great low end extension. Either that or that room is small enough to where that didn't need a sub. But I have that bass sine wave, that bass drop going to 15 hertz. So
and you were able to hear it pretty good.
Oh yeah, like with authority. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, dude, this sub is great in here, bro. He's like, there's no sub. I'm like, what? Killing me. So the Atom A7s were staple. Yes, yes. That was the one. V-shaped response.
Yeah. I haven't seen I think these are the ones that I have are the T7V. I'd have to go look. They're still in the box.
Yeah, those look newer. I mean, if you say because those ones, these A7s were like 700 or 800 each, I think.
Let's see. Spinorama.
Yeah.
I asked for them specifically because of the directivity measurements that I saw.
800, yeah. Uh-huh.
So not necessarily the direct response, it was just more like if the directivity is somewhat even close to what I'm seeing here in this measurement. This is not a clipple measurement here.
Okay, let's see it.
It's not showing up. Oh, there it is. So this is not a clipple measurement, but that directivity is what I was interested in. The on-axis response doesn't look so great, but that means that I can EQ this if it is
something good.
In fact, like this. I don't know, but I have them in, so I'll measure them and see what's up.
Chris Contreras, thank you so much, buddy. He said you guys are the absolute best on YouTube. Love your content. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it.
Let's go through some of the comments. You guys didn't have any questions today or what?
Yeah. Shout out to Magic Beans Discord channel. Awesome people with the wealth of knowledge. Help me dial my room in. That extra step made miles of improvement.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna tell you, somebody's saying he just commented on one of my older videos with the Denon Marantz Magic Beans. He's like, I tried it. It doesn't sound great. So I gotta forward you that comment so you can see what happened.
You know, it happens, right? It happens where it doesn't sound good, but 99.9% of the time, it's because something was done wrong.
Like maybe had like something on, like a compression that was on that wasn't that or something. Who knows? Yeah, we already went through that one.
It's because something is done wrong. There's a possibility that you could apply Magic Beans and the directivity of your speaker is just so bad that it doesn't sound good because your speaker.
Sure. Yeah, there's that. We always have to reference that, like Magic Beans. I'm using Magic Beans on these speakers that are actually pretty damn decent, even though they're cheap, right?
Yeah.
That is one thing I forget to say in the videos. Like it's just there's so much to like get through in the video. I forget that part.
Yeah. What do you say? Right? I'm officially a Magic.
Wait, which one?
The last one. Good thing I'm not Hispanic.
I'm officially a Magic. We love it, Gary.
Yeah,
we love it, buddy.
Let's see what else here. Revive says about the Atom A7s. Oh, we already got that one. He says, I would be curious to hear these and see if they're as bright as everything else Atom makes. If you're talking about the D3Vs, they had a slight treble rise, but they have different settings and it's super easy to EQ out. You know, but out of the box, maybe a little tiny bit bright. You know?
Probably.
Nothing
Yo mama asked, how do you even rig studio monitors to the wall? Dude, the brackets were I wish I had actually videotaped that because he doesn't he lives pretty far away from me. But like I was packing up and I hit my head on that surround back channel. It shit hurt.
Ow.
And that thing did not move. It did not move at all.
That's even worse.
That hurt.
Ow.
Shit hurt. But yeah, they must have got it into some studs or something or braced whatever up on the top, at least on the top, because those SM5s are pretty stout. Maybe that's why they went with the IN5s on the top side for the high channel.
What if you would have bumped it and the thing fell off?
Oh, dude.
It fell off the wall.
Not good. Not good.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. So that's all I got. We're just here kind of like wanted to make sure we did a podcast before you took off to AXPONA.
Yeah, I still have to make a video about it. I got these. I'm gonna hand out some of my new Atmos mixes on USBs. So if there's anybody,
what do they have to do though to get one of those? Do they have to do something?
They just got to run into me. They just have to like, hey, Chana, do you have any more USBs? I'd be like, oh,
huh? They just have to find you. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to make it a little more like Easter egg.
Oh, dude, there's 200 rooms. There's 200 rooms at AXPONA. You'd be surprised. Like, unless you're like really looking and following me on Instagram to see where I'm at, it's hard to find.
Be all disguised.
Yeah.
Make yourself hard to find.
Nah, man, you got to be loud as shit at those things, right? I'm gonna be with Aaron, so we're gonna be fucking laughing, right? Pretty much when we're walking everywhere.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so look for the tan guy with the goatee and the lighter guy with the beard. That are both who are not really old.
Why you saying like that?
Demographic over there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You guys.
I mean, I'm so curious to see. Just like when you were just joking around, everybody's like, "Oh, you got to hear these speakers at that after party or whatever," and you walk in there and it's just nothing but highs. This is great. And it's nothing but highs, right?
Horrible.
Nothing. Like you see
yeah.
Like, oh, they can't hear. Their hearing is gone. That's why it's so good. It's so detailed. It's so crispy, crunchity up at the fucking peanut buttery top of that. Like, what?
Man. Don't make fun of people who can't hear. Hey, before we go, I want to tell you guys about this ear irrigator I got.
Oh, yeah? Washing your ears out with soap?
No, it's like I don't know. You put it around your ear and it sprays water at a comfortable level, so it's not gonna, kill your eardrums. And then it just gets everything out nice and clean. Everybody should do it.
Yep.
Affiliate link down below.
Everybody. Oh.
Anyway, let's get up out of here.
That's right.
I know you gotta do some stuff already.
That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go to crew.dailyhifi.com and become a member and to do into the after show. You're going to do the after show, right?
I'm going to be there. Don't even mention the clothing thing because somebody said that they didn't get their stuff. So,
that's still Wendell, or is it somebody else? Okay,
no, him.
Forget that. Do the stuff. If you like to listen to the podcast instead of watch me eat, then go to anchor.fm/dailyhifi, and of course. If you haven't already, pick up Magic Beans. Go to magicbeansaudio.com. Go to spatialcd.com. Pick up Spatial Toolkit. And follow us on the Instagram channel @spatialgroup. And we're doing a sale for AXPONA. So 10% off AXPONA. I think it starts on Tuesday. It starts Friday. I don't even know what day it is, man. I'm so confused. Today I have been filled with appointments all day. It's been ridiculous.
And if you're about that life, you can go to onlyfans.com/spatial group. If you're
oh my gosh. I like this one, Scruff. Do a tally of how many Diana crawls.
Hey, that'd be a funny video.
Yeah.
Can you make a video? Like, dude, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go and have fun. Don't try to do the whole I'm going to interview somebody. Maybe if you're
going to interview somebody. Okay. Go ahead.
Right? If you're really interested, then interview them if it's a really cool product. But if it's just like something and they just want to use your channel to like get some views, maybe pass on that. But I would love for you to do just something hilarious, like like they're saying, if you went in and did a tally, go into each room and tally how many people are playing like some smooth jazz type of thing, or you know, something with no bass, and be like ding. Then you go to the next room, show the name, see what they're playing, just have fun with it.
What are the other hi-fi classics? Diana Krall. Who else?
Something that you've never heard of. You know that one?
And then smooth jazz, right? Some sort of smooth jazz, nothing but mids and highs.
Mids and highs, that's it. No bass. Right? So yeah, just go have fun. That video will probably be more that damn horse song. That video is probably gonna be more entertaining if you just go and screw around. Like, I want to see a screwing around video with Chana and Aaron.
Okay,
that's what I want to see. I don't want to hear about the fun stuff. I want to see it. If you stop on the railroad track, I want to see that.
Should I? You know. Do you remember the haunted mansion in Disneyland, the ride? You know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right. You know, in the first room, you're all stuck together, and it like goes down, right? And the paintings, like, right. We had a like a junior high day at this is obviously years ago, and so we came equipped with spitballs, stink bombs, and tennis ball. And so in that thing, my friend took out a stink bomb and stepped on it. And so we're all close together. and everybody's like, oh, you see waves. I'm like, oh, and everybody's like waiting, trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
Could do some shit like that where just fucking walk in, fucking smart, and then leave.
Yeah, 2025 version. Just have fun. I hope you have a great time, both of you guys, and you know, film some of your escapades or whatever you want to call it. Antics. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna hop in the after show for a little bit and then talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for whoever tuned in to hear us talk about whatever we talked about.
That's right. And we'll see you guys next week. Definitely. Well, I hope to have some cool AXPONA stories for you guys. And hopefully Aaron will be here that night as well. Yeah. Thank you for watching the Daily HiFi podcast. We do this every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. On behalf of myself, Mr. Joe Intel, and the absent Mr. Aaron Hardison.
Because he's getting ready.
Good night. Dude, I'll be packing till like 2 a.m. My car comes at like 5. My Uber comes at like 5. I'm just sleep on the plane. You guys, thank you so much.
See you guys.
Have a good night. See you next week. Peace. Woo, 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 woo. AXPONA.